Hey YouTube, how's everyone doing? I'm back again with some more pickups. It is November 2024, right at the end of November, and these are a big stack here of what I've bought pretty much since I recorded that last video back in May. It seems quite a lot, but really for 6 months it's not, for me at least, or previous me. I've definitely calmed down as far as what I've been buying over the last even over the last year, I would say. I did kind of briefly mention in an intro to that last video, even though that video was recorded back in May, I have just recorded before I started this, but to tab on to the last video that hopefully you've seen, that I've not really recorded anything for more than 6 months, and that's kind of my enthusiasm, passion, whatever you want to call it, for making YouTube videos had kind of waned to a point where every time I thought about doing it, I just found something else to do. I can't explain it. I just didn't want to. It just didn't interest me. Every now and again, I'd have an urge, or for years when I've been buying things, especially when I'm out and about in charity shops or car boot sales or whatever, I pick things up and I look at it and think, am I going to buy it, am I not? Often I'll be looking at things, so I'll pick something up and I'm looking at it, and if I'm buying it, I'm already in my head thinking, what is there I can talk about? And that's not the reason for buying things, but when I've got something in my hand, I'm already going through my head, what can I talk about when I'm showing this on camera? And sometimes I do waffle on, and I kind of don't really do that anymore, or haven't been. A few times actually I've caught myself doing that, and to be fair, with all this stuff that I've got, not much of it was bought, other than the big stack of CEX stuff. The rest was bought online. There's a few bits from the charity shop, some very minor things from the charity shop, and some bits from the car boot sale. But I'm not going to go through all of that in this video. I'm going to start with probably the biggest pile, I think, is everything that I've bought from CEX over the last 6-ish months. And then I reckon there's 4 separate piles in total. I could do all this in one video, but it'd be such a long video, and I'm going to be perfectly honest, my attention span isn't what it used to be. I even find myself, when I'm watching videos on YouTube now, quite often, I mean, there's some things I will sit and watch, for an hour or more, if I'm entertained. And there are some YouTubers regardless of the length of the videos, I'll sit and watch through them. But for the most part, my attention span, if I see anything more than 10 or 15 minutes, often I don't even click on it unless it's something I'm really, really interested in. And I've always been, what's the word? I don't think wary is the word, but doing long videos, I've never loved doing long videos. I know a lot of people who watch have said that they really like the long videos. But I think the analytics say differently. Most people zone out after a few minutes. Some go for a bit longer, but very few, I think, get all the way to the end. And I get it. I understand why. Yeah, so I'm going to probably tackle the biggest pile first, which is all the stuff I've bought from CEX over that time, and then re-evaluate what I've got left, and maybe because the CEX pile is, I would say, about 40% of what's here. So realistically, I could maybe do 2 or 3 videos, but at the moment I'm looking at maybe 4, and I've been whittling on now for 5 minutes and not showing you anything. So I think a lot of people have probably zoned out by now. Yeah, I just thought I'd clear a few things. A few people over the last few months have contacted me, some on Facebook who are friends, and others through YouTube, asking me if I'm okay, how am I. I've not done videos for a while, that sort of thing. Am I coming back to YouTube? What am I doing? And like I say, the passion had kind of gone. And this isn't, again, I think I might be repeating myself. This isn't to say I'm here, this is me back, business as usual. I can't promise that, but right now in this moment, I'm up for filming a few videos, so I'm going to do this now. And yeah, so enjoy. Right, so I've got a pile of Blu-rays and a pile of DVDs, and I've split them up into 2 piles. Now, for the most part, I can't tell you when I bought these, over the last 6 months. The only 2 that I know for certain are these first 2. And they are Doctor Who DVDs. So I got the Pyramids of Mars and Robots of Death. Now, I went specifically looking for the Pyramids of Mars, although I think I probably saw this as a kid. I didn't remember that much from it at all. But in the most recent series of Doctor Who on TV, they brought back a villain from the classic era. So I wanted to find this and watch it before the season finale, so I could be updated, or back up to date, I should say, with that particular Doctor Who monster. So I went specifically looking for that one, and while I was there I found another one that I didn't have, at least on DVD. I'm not sure if that's on one of the Blu-ray sets that I own, but it might be. So yeah, those 2 Doctor Who sets were bought in May or June, whenever the last episode of, or the week before the last episode of the most recent series of Doctor Who aired. This one I got, I've never seen this, don't think, but I got it because it was a super jewel case. Citizen Kane, £1.50, which I didn't think was too bad. As you can see, I've had an awful time trying to get that label off. Usually when I buy anything from CEX, these labels come straight off even before I do a video, and then I'll attempt. In this case, most of them will come off fine, but I don't know about that. In this case, I'll take these off after I've filmed the video, just so I can show the price of what I paid for them. So yeah, another super jewel case. Then I did find a bunch of steelbooks. I want to say I got all of these on the same day. Are they all the same price? I think they're all the same price pretty much. Yeah, £1.50. The Incredible Hulk 2-disc edition. All of these are in maybe not absolutely mint condition, but certainly no dents, and maybe some very light scratches on the edges, if any at all. But yeah, so this is a 2-disc edition of The Incredible Hulk. These are all DVDs. Although I very rarely buy Blu-ray steelbooks these days, I do like to pick up, for some reason, the DVD steelbooks. Usually because most of them are cheaper and harder to find in a lot of cases, not all. This is a 3-movie set. Elizabeth, what we got the Golden Age first. So we've got Elizabeth, which was the first movie, then Elizabeth the Golden Age, which is a sequel, and then, is that the girl with the pearl earring, I think? I'm sure it is. It'll say on here somewhere. No, the other Amber Lynn girl. There we go. Where did I get that from? Anyway, that bottom one I haven't seen. The other two I have. I actually really like those two Elizabeth movies. I want to say they're both out on HD DVD. Yeah, they are. They're both available, and I say available, I own them on HD DVD. This is another 3-movie set. Lay Cake, Snatch, and Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. Which version of Lock, Stock is it? I'm assuming it's the standard theatrical cut rather than the extended. Doesn't say, but I imagine it won't be the extended, which I do own on DVD. Maybe on Blu-ray, I'm not sure. But yeah, 3 great movies. And then another one for my definitive edition steelbook collection, Windtalkers, Nicolas Cage movie that I haven't seen. Again, that was £1.50. And I just had to buy this one because it's a great movie. I really love it. Classic sci-fi. And it was just weird packaging. So it's War of the Worlds from, I don't know when. It says 2005, but that must have been the release of the DVD. I want to say it's the late 50s. Yeah, a lot of fun. And this is sort of slipcover edition, which I believe is a digipack. Again, I'm working with one hand because I'm an idiot. Good job, I've still got teeth. Yeah, so it's a single disc. But yeah, this movie's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. And a show that I kind of remember from, I want to say the 80s. I'm sure it's post this actor's Doctor Who years. Campion with Peter Davison. It's, I was about to say it's the first series, but isn't it? It's just two cases, two. I'm assuming feature-length episodes, but obviously, honestly, I don't know because I haven't watched this. £2. Yeah, I'm sure it's. I'm assuming it's something like Poirot or some detective type thing like that. Maybe not set in the times that Poirot was. And then finally for the DVDs, a show that I started back when it was airing, or maybe shortly afterwards, Burn Notice. I can't remember how much of it I watched. I'm fairly certain I got at least into the second series. And I've started rewatching this. And as far as stories and plots, I don't remember hardly anything. The actors, the characters, and certain sets and locations, you know, where the characters live and things like that. I remember all of that, or a lot of that. Yeah, but as far as the story's concerned and the plots, I really don't remember anything. So I'm really enjoying this. I'm only, I think, maybe 5 or 6 episodes in so far. But I'm definitely going to be looking for the rest of the DVDs because, yeah, I'm enjoying that a lot. And it doesn't hurt that Bruce Campbell's in there as well. So, good. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I don't know why. I have an idea why I bought this, but Australia, Land Beyond Time. I paid £5 for this. I think I must have picked this up thinking it was a 3D. Because with it being IMAX, there's a few 3D IMAX titles I own. But now I'm looking at it, I might be wrong, it might actually be 3D, but I don't see anything on here that is 3D. But yeah, I can only assume I picked it up thinking it was 3D, and either just bought it on the strength of that, or didn't. I kept hold of it, put it in the pile that I had maybe, and ended up taking it to the counter without realising. Honestly, I don't know. I don't even remember. That's maybe not true. I kind of remember looking at it. But yeah, I'm certain I thought it was 3D, but I'm looking at it now. I'm thinking it's probably not. But there we go. Other than the most recent releases from Marvel, this was the last of the slip-covered edition. This one being phase 2. Phase 2. Can't quite focus in on that. So I've got all of phase 1. I now have all of phase 2. I have all of phase 3 in these releases, or at least all that they have released, and some of phase 4. For some reason, the Spider-Man movies, the first one got a release in this collection, but the second and the third haven't been, at least to my knowledge. I've never seen them. And of phase 4, or are we into phase 5? I can't. I'm lost with Marvel now, because I kind of fell off for the most part after Black Widow. I've seen there's a few of the more recent ones I've enjoyed, but for the majority, not so much. But yeah, certainly the last 2 or 3, and they may all have got these slipcovers now. I'm not sure. But yeah, for £1, I grabbed that because it's the last one I need. I already had the movie to watch on 3D, which comes with the 2D Blu-ray as well, but I didn't have that slipcover edition. Downton Abbey, New Era, the second movie, which again I didn't have. I've got the first movie, and I've got the majority of the series and specials, but not all of them as yet. In fact, they're there. There's a couple of specials, and looks like 4 seasons that I own. So, and the other movie, that's just my TV stuff. The other movie's downstairs in my movies collection, so that'll go with that. Oppenheimer. I'm going to be perfectly honest, I didn't remember buying this. I mean, I do remember buying it now. It's in front of me, and as I was going through this pile, but I bought it and put it away with the rest of the stuff that I bought, thinking I was going to do a video at some point, and kind of forgot about it. So I haven't watched this yet, and I would bet money that it's no longer that price now in CEX. It's probably cheaper, so I've probably wasted some money on not watching it sooner. But now I've seen that it's here. I'm assuming it's quite a long movie, so I might watch it tomorrow rather than tonight. Who knows? Soon though. I've just found this downstairs, but it wasn't put away, and I don't know whether I've shown it or not. But this is Paul, the Steelbook edition. I've already got it in one of these slip covers, these plastic protectors. So that's how I got it. I paid £1.50. I already had that. So a good friend of mine on YouTube used to send me a lot of slip covers, and occasionally some Steelbook J cards, and this is one that he sent me a long time ago, and I remembered that I had it, and when I saw this for £1.50, I remember when this came out, I saw it in HMV. I want to say it was probably a HMV exclusive at the time, and there was this and True Grit. I remember being in there, and they were released at $24.99. Now I don't know if they were the first Blu-ray steelbooks at that price point in HMV, but I was always used to buying them at $14.99, and then they went up to, at one point they went up to $17.99, generally speaking. But this was always, from release at least, $24.99, and so was True Grit, which probably came out around about the same time. The remake, not the original. And it was one that I could just never pull the trigger on at that price. I did eventually buy it back in the day when I was collecting steelbooks, but I don't believe I paid anything close to that for it. So yeah, to have it at £1.50, I already own the movie standard edition. Yeah, £1.50, I couldn't resist it. And if I hadn't had that J card, I probably wouldn't have bought it. This is a live concert from a band that I've been getting into a lot over the last probably year or so. Maybe not quite that long. I don't know though, because I did get a Super Jewel case. Was it earlier this year or was it last year? I don't know. Anyway, this is Rammstein, live at Madison Square Gardens. This is a Blu-ray. I think it's actually a Blu-ray and a DVD, but it's in a DVD size. Get into focus. It's in a DVD size box case. Unfortunately, it's one of these ones where the discs. Where are the discs? Oh, there they are. Oh, it's not. For some reason, I thought it was one where the discs slipped into the card sleeves, but it's not. Yeah, this is awesome. The stage show that these guys put on is incredible. I'm sure the music isn't to everybody's taste, and it probably even as little as 5 years ago, it wouldn't have been mine. But I don't know. There's just something. I mean, it's all in German. They don't sing in English. They're from Germany, but it's still incredible. Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. This is another 3D movie, the only one so far at least. I'm probably the only one, and I probably picked this up at the same time as I had that Australia Blu-ray in my hand, and maybe that's the reason why I thought it. Well, not one of the reasons why I thought it was 3D, but this is Julia X in 3D. For a long time, this was quite an expensive, £12–15 Blu-ray. So to see it for a £5, yeah, I had to jump on that. I haven't watched it yet though. I had to grab this for £2. A video that I've been tossing in my mind for quite a while now. This, although I do have a copy on other formats. Yeah, for £2 I grabbed this. Great series, I really enjoy it. This is the very first item, not on Blu-ray, on HD DVD that I ever bought and watched in high definition at home. I actually bought it before I even had an HD DVD player. The HD DVD was released with double-sided discs that had DVD on one side and HD DVD on the other side, and at the time that release was cheaper, at least on eBay, than buying the Series 1 DVD set. So I ended up buying that, and then that was partially the catalyst for me going out when HD DVDs had died. Argos was selling off their Toshiba HD DVD players for £50. So I bit the bullet and bought one, and having this on DVD was one of the reasons for doing that. And it was the very first thing that I watched at home in high definition. I already had the high definition telly, just not the player. And then finally, I know nothing about this. I bought it just because it's Bill Nye and it sounded interesting. Living. it was £3. I haven't watched it yet, but I plan to, maybe when I'm off over Christmas, if not before. Yeah, so there we go. That is my CEX pickups for the last 6 or 7 months, basically. Yeah, I didn't, by any stretch of the imagination, get all these at once, and probably not even in the same store. I think, although mostly probably in Stockton, because I haven't travelled out, not like I used to CEXs all over the place. But I've probably been to Middlesbrough and Darlington in that time as well. So yeah, still got that little lot to do next, although I don't think I'm going to do it all in one video, because there's more in that pile than that was in this pile, and this video's already 25 minutes long, which I think is way long enough. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will definitely see you in the next one. And the only reason I can say that is because I'm going to record it right now. Yeah, thanks. See you later. Ta-ra.